What can you tell us about the Clinton email scandal? Well, I can tell you a lot about the Clinton email scandal. Judicial Watch uncovered the Clinton email scandal back in 2014. And how did we figure it out? Well, we had gotten some documents from the State Department in investigating the Benghazi scandal. And the documents that we had gotten were the smoking gun documents showing the Obama White House were behind the lies of that the video made them do it, as opposed to an al-Qaeda-based terrorist attack on our consulate and security facility in Benghazi on September 11th, 2012. So we showed that the White House was behind the lies because they were pretending it was the intelligence community. In fact, it was a White House PR effort that had Susan Rice go out there and try to suggest the video made these a video created a spontaneous demonstration that resulted in the attack, when in fact it was a premeditated, coordinated terrorist attack. And that was something that was inconvenient to the administration because Barack Obama had this view, had this motto out there, or a campaign slogan, that Bin Laden is dead, GM is alive. So he was running on his success fighting terrorism. And it's hard to do that if your ambassador and 3 other innocent Americans are murdered in a terrorist attack on an anniversary of 9/11, in this case 9/11/2012. So they lied to protect Obama from the consequences of his and Hillary Clinton's maladministration of the issues in Libya, where they took out Gaddafi, allowed him to be murdered, and into that vacuum rushed all the terrorists that want to destroy the United States and still do. So we uncovered that big scandal. And the document we uncovered that Congress hasn't been able to get, and then Speaker John Boehner was all outraged that Judicial Watch got the document and Congress didn't, and he dropped his objections to a select committee on Benghazi. So that created the select committee. And our document release created the select committee. You wouldn't know about Trey Gowdy but for Judicial Watch's activities. But we noticed in all of that Benghazi material that we had received, there were no Clinton emails. And I remember thinking at the time, well, maybe Hillary Clinton didn't use emails. She had been a senator, she had been a first lady, she had run for the office of president once before against Barack Obama and lost. So maybe the email revolution and that communication technique had passed her by. She didn't use it. Wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. But just because I thought that might be the case, it didn't mean we didn't we'd want to figure out one way or another whether that was true. So we asked more specifically for documents about Hillary Clinton and Benghazi. And the Justice Department came back to us, because the Justice Department represents the State Department, and they came back to us later that year in 2015. Yeah, it was 2000, was it 14 or 15? I think it was 2014 now, forgive me, it's getting, I forget the years in my old age. So they came back to us at the end of 2014 with some documents we'd already gotten, and our lawyer, I remember, Ramona Kotka, went back to them and said, well, where are Clinton emails? Where did you search for these records? And they came back to us, and they wouldn't say they were Clinton emails, but they said, oh, well, there are other documents we have to look at. And then in February of 2015, they tell the court, we gave Judicial Watch everything other than these other documents we have to look at. And sure enough, a few weeks later, it shows up in the New York Times, I think in a leak designed to get ahead of the story, that there were the Clinton emails. So there's no doubt our FOIAs forced the release of the Clinton emails. So we had these cases on Benghazi, we had these cases on Clinton ethics agreements where her husband was getting all this money and they were supposed to run it by ethically in the State Department. So that was a big case. And all sorts of other cases that were involved in the Clinton email, that were impacted by the Clinton email lies, because we didn't know she had emails. They were telling us they searched everywhere, when in fact they hadn't searched everywhere. There were these Clinton emails. So that's the long story about how we uncovered the Clinton email scandal. And the emails show that she had classified information on her system. She was warned not to use emails like that because it would place the information at risk. The subsequent investigation showed that she destroyed emails once it was uncovered. And of course, you had all this fake FBI investigations, which showed that there was obstruction as well in the destruction of devices, the dishonesty to the FBI, and then of course the emails also documented pay for play, where the Clinton Foundation donors were getting special favors and consideration at the State Department through communications with Huma Abedin, who was a top official for Hillary Clinton, one of her top aides. So all of that was uncovered by Judicial Watch in the middle of the presidential election. And we had no idea that Hillary Clinton was going to run for president. But it all came out during that time because the cover-up broke in 2015. So the timing was terrible for Hillary Clinton. We also received the ability in one of our cases to depose top Hillary Clinton aides in the middle of 2016. So you can see how Judicial Watch's investigations in Benghazi and Clinton pay for play and conflicts of interest. Remember, Hillary and Bill were getting money from all these foreign governments while she was Secretary of State, including the Russians. We uncovered all of that. And that, in my view, was the most significant non-governmental investigation in American history. It was Judicial Watch that did it all. Is Hillary, so that's the Clinton email scandal. And the other part of the scandal is the Obama gang protected her, but you know that.